everybody to the Road Warrior Show. I am your host, Nhat Pham, and alongside me, back in his place is Digital Knight Sean Francis.
Good morning. This is the show for all you entrepreneurs, salespeople, professionals, give you tips, tricks, and of course technology to keep you more successful in the air and on the road.
Happy Monday, October 14th, 2013. And we are 14th. I said 14th, right?
You said 14th.
Okay.
You're right on. I mean, it's like you got this. Without me here, you kind of got it down.
Yeah, you know. We're in the tail end of Oktoberfest now, and you know, all the fun festivities. Got an exciting show for you today. Now that Sean's back,
Hasn't been exciting without me.
it's been a challenge. No, I actually managed okay. I did, you know, good 27 minutes by myself.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's hard.
I'm
You won't realize how hard that is sometimes just to stand up here and just kind of to do your thing, you know?
You know what? If I had just a little script thing,
Yeah.
I could do all right. But you're managing, you know, anything, potential questions, your next segment.
Oh, yeah.
You got to move all the stuff on the screen. It's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Anyways, got a great show for you today. Thanks for joining in. Google Plus, we're going to talk about a lot of Google today. Look, some Google Plus, Google privacy stuff, Chromebook as well.
Yeah.
We talk a little Chromebook 11.
Yep.
You hesitate like, you are going to talk about it, right? I put it on the list. We're going to talk about little Galaxy Round. Little Galaxy Round. I didn't know about that until you hit it. I've been staying away from devices. I just don't, you know, I don't need them all.
They don't excite you anymore.
Well, they do, but yeah, I know I'm going to stick to my Apple products because it's just simple. I've been tempted, but not heavily tempted.
Gotcha.
Going to talk a little Twitter, Instagram, Krayos. Going to talk about some more wearable technology. Good stuff there. And of course, your questions and answers. If you're new to the show, we're right up there. Log in, dialogue with us, ask us questions, comment, banter. Just be nice. All right. So first off, just a lot of crazy stuff in the news. All this government stuff has just jacked a lot of people up.
It is.
It's what's going viral around everywhere is this whole EBT thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I read about that. That was Xerox. Xerox apparently had a problem in the back end. They're the ones who do the support of the systems for the EBT systems.
That.
Yes.
Wow, Xerox has dipped their toes in a bunch of things.
They do a lot of enterprise level stuff that more so than people realize.
Okay. Well, so for certain big box retailers out there, didn't have the balance, so they just let them do whatever, and they just ransacked the whole place.
Wow.
And then when the system came back on, all these people left cart full of groceries and stuff. Just
I didn't read about all that. I just read about the technical stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So they basically let people just come in and take what they wanted?
Well, no, you had to swipe your thing, but it didn't. It was carte blanche because it just didn't register through.
Wow.
There was no data to pull except that, hey, yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Wow. That's kind of scary.
And so, you know, once one person figures that out, it just starts to spread, and they monopolized that opportunity, and when it cut off, they were like, oh, well,
I'm out.
so they were just swiping food, basically. But a lot of things, it's kind of interesting how quickly that goes. I think a lot of that is through the technology these days, what we have, devices. I don't think word could spread as quickly as in that scenario, any scenario, as much as that has in this modern age.
And you're absolutely right. And what's interesting about some of that kind of stuff is that people think that, you know, because there's a technology glitches, and you have those, you know, you're going to have those kinds of things, that people think it's okay to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I actually there was this news article on, I think it was like last year. It was really interesting where there was this gas pump that you went up to, and there was a problem with the machine at the gas pump, where you could just come up to it and just start filling your tank, and it kept going. You didn't have to put a credit card in or anything like that. So people just kept doing that. You know, it's like they were calling their friends. Everyone was coming up and filling their tanks up and things like that. Well, you know, of course they got the video surveillance and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's essentially That's stealing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
it is.
it's that same kind of stuff. That's stealing, and people don't think about it. They think because you think about how the day it used to be is you used to have to go in and you pay ahead of time, or you actually would even pump your gas and then go up to it after you pumped your gas.
Yeah.
And essentially, what these people were doing is doing drive-offs, and they're trying to say, well, the machine was broken because of the technology, and it's not the technology's fault. That doesn't give you the right to go in there and take and do the things you shouldn't do. So it's interesting. People look at this stuff like that, the whole EBT system, and they're trying to take advantage of it, and and basically steal from the system because they're trying to blend in technology.
Yeah, and it's kind of a blurred line for many people, even though it shouldn't be. That was one of the big debates online, and I was like, wow, it's just this is even debatable.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting, but I guess the real point is, how are you spreading your word?
Yeah.
Things get viral very, very quickly, and not just the point of hearing your message, is how do you get people to act on it? And I think that's a critical thing, within the bounds of values, morals, and whatnot.
Yes.
So, well, moving from the political soapbox, let's go into all the cool stuff we got out there. Okay, we got Google. It's all over the news. I got like 3 bits on Google. Okay, but the first one, of course, I kind of relegated everything device oriented to you.
You have.
Except for maybe Apple stuff. Apple stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to relegate that to me.
So with that in mind, let's talk about the Galaxy Chromebook 11. I actually, I say Apple, but my wife has a Chromebook. That's all she needs. I don't have to tinker with what's it, Ubuntu, what's that, Linux operating system, because that's out of my scope these days. Yet it's easy to use, decent support. I shouldn't say good support, decent support. There's still some things I'm like, but tell us about the new Chromebook, basically a laptop, right?
Yes, and it's not the Chrome, not by Galaxy. It's not the Galaxy.
Right.
So it's
I meant Google.
Actually, it's HP is the hardware manufacturer who's partnered up with Google to make this.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the HP Chromebook 11, and basically, it's interesting. You're starting to see more and more of these. Apparently now, about 5% of all sales of these type of devices are now Chromebooks. They're actually starting to kind of pick up their pace. There's a number of reasons. One is because their cost. They're cheap as all get out. You can pick these up for $279.
That's cheap.
That's really cheap. I know that's like one of your favorite words there.
Yeah.
So, but you don't have a whole lot of power.
Next to free.
Yeah, next to free. But they don't, and they do, for what they're designed to do, they work well. But the key to these devices is understanding what specifically are they designed to do. These Chromebooks, they're not designed and set up to be, where you can replace your laptop.
Right.
Okay. These are designed to kind of be I would almost call them a kind of intermediary device between a tablet and a phone and a laptop. Basically what they are is they're great for giving you access to online content, specifically within the Google world. Like I said, they cost $279, so they're relatively cheap. They've got 2 gigs of RAM, but for onboard storage, they only have 16 gigs of storage. And they don't have an SD card slot or anything like that. So what you have on there, that little bit of space is what you got.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The one my wife has.
The one my wife has, there's some previous versions that did, and that was one of the things that's kind of like a bummer about this one, is that they got rid of that SD card slot, so you can't add any more storage, so it's kind of limiting. Yeah. There's no HDMI port either. It only has got 2 USB ports. One of the things I do like about it is for its charging port, it's got a micro USB.
So it also works for their Nexus or whatever it is, right? Or whatever, the mobile device they have?
Well, no, it's the same. Usually the same charger that like your typical smartphone will use.
Right, I got you.
That's the port that it's got on there. So it does have that. Now, a couple of things that again, this is a device that's designed to basically surf the web, use online web apps. It does have its own web store, app store.
Yeah, this is what you're talking about. So it does. You can charge your Nexus 4 with it too, I think, or whatever your Nexus charger is.
I would, I don't know. It's not necessarily designed that, because this port here, this is the same port that plugs into your phone. It's got a mini USB port. That's what it charges with.
Nice. Okay.
So, but what's interesting about it is, like I say, is it's really designed to kind of work in your on the network environment. Now they're trying to set this up so that way you can do things like get on an airplane, do stuff, and be offline for short periods of time. But it's still not there yet. It does, though. One of the things that, if this is something you're interested in, one of the things I can say that's kind of cool about it is if you get this, it comes to a 2-year subscription to 100 gigs of Google Drive storage upgrade.
Oh, that's nice.
Which that's $5. That's basically $5 a month. So that's $60. So for 2 years, that's $120 that they're giving you value of that. It also comes with 12 vouchers for GoGo in-flight Wi-Fi.
Oh,
which is kind of nice.
Really nice.
So for those of you that
much?
travel, it comes with 12 vouchers.
Now that is perfect for me because I travel about, I don't know, 5-6 times a year.
Yeah, well, for those of you that I do, then I'm actually going to be doing it this week. I'm flying back out to California.
Yeah.
And I use GoGo in flight. It cost me about $14 for the flight.
Yeah.
So if I got 12 of those, that right there, that and the drive space, that's basically giving you the notebook for free.
Yeah.
Or the Chromebook for free. So that's some of the things to think about. But again, some of the challenges are that it really is designed to work where you're in a wired or on the network environment, and that's the challenge.
No offline docs.
Yeah. And now again, they're trying to work through that, and I do think that eventually they're going to have some of those revisions done where they can do that kind of stuff, but it's not there yet. But if you want something that, maybe to give something to the kids to sit at home and surf on, where they're not going to download a whole lot of stuff, it's running the Chrome OS, which it's very fast boot. Works well. You don't have the same typical issues and viruses and things like that, at least right now, that you would have with a normal disk system. It can be good for that, but not for the road warriors. That's my thought right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe for sales staff. I mean, if you want, you
gotta
have to be connected.
They have to be connected, and you have to have all your stuff where it's basically in an online app version.
Yeah, and then as a backup, maybe give them a thumb drive. I mean, if you got, if you're trying to deploy big Salesforce quickly, it might be a cost-effective way to do it. But yeah, still some things they got to work through. But pretty neat. It looks very Apple-esque, by the way.
Yes.
Yes. All the funky colors and
more like,
if I didn't see Chrome, I would say, is this a new MacBook?
Yeah. Apparently, it's got a plastic shell.
Yeah.
The logo there with the colors, that's the same colors that they've had like on the other ones.
Yeah.
But it is like a plastic type shell.
Yeah. Very very MacBook-esque. So moving on, Google's. I think they're doing this and they're wrapping a lot of things up, really to get a lot of traffic. Because as soon as you're going on, you're going to get that traffic. They need to get some of that traffic back because they got surpassed by Yahoo. I don't know if you were there for that episode.
Yeah. It's like July or something like that.
Yeah. So, how do you get some of that traffic back? And I think one of the ways to do that is to get stuff that's already pre-configured, if you will, to do that. And, one of the things that is big in the social media world these days. Oh, it's not pulling up. All right, let me just get this image over. It's the Google Plus. One of the things about Google Plus is that it's very strong for SEO. And while it's probably the fourth or fifth network down, it really feels your search engine optimization.
Does it?
Yeah. If you can get a lot of +1s, you're going to amp up pretty quickly depending on the search terms and who else is going on it. So, a lot of people have been asking me a long time, should I get on Google Plus? Is it time? I've been saying this, yes, get on it. How active you need to be was another story. I said, get on there, get a lot of +1s. Now, you're going to be able to amp up SEO with activity. So, SEO, like this article from Mashable says, it's going to be pretty important. Go using hashtags. Hashtags been a big thing, obviously, that Twitter created for the years to thread conversations. But this is going to be a big thing. But the other thing people don't realize is also they announced the YouTube comments would also be powered by Google Plus.
I remember they were talking about that.
So it's going to be critical to. I mean, there are good videos. We talk about video content all the time. This was one of our things. And if you can get, +1s and Google Plus comments onto your videos, that is big.
Gotcha.
So should you create content? Yes, but more importantly, create some video content, compelling video content, juice it up with Google Plus. There's your SEO factor.
Gotcha.
So you don't need to know all the analytics or algorithms and stuff like that. Just get a lot of it. People, well, how does that work? Just get a lot of it. Okay? Pick your 6. I'm going to give you accelerated SEO version that you can do yourself. Okay?
All right.
Put out good content. Pick 6 keywords that's relevant to your business. and get engagement.
Get engagement.
That's it. 3 steps. Good content. Get pluses and everything like that. And get engagement. When you get engagement, you're going to get the other stuff. That's it.
That's it.
Simple, right? So, when is the time to get on Google Plus? All right, now. Before, it was like, all right, yeah, you should go ahead and get on it. Get active on it, but if you want an easy way to get active on it, and you don't need to get as conversational. So, now, if you're in the tech sector, kind of like where we are, you probably want to add a little bit more engagement in there, or engage yourself in it a little bit more, because that that segment or that demographic tends to be a little more active on Google Plus than, say, medical or insurance, all the old school.
Something else like I do now.
You're the delegate. You're the delegate guy. Hey, dude, I do Instagram like twice a month. Our Instagram feed is all our man Tyler, other people on the staff, interns.
Yeah.
I get time to do all of it.
Yeah.
Pick what you're good at. You gotta tweet though. You go to all these conferences. I'm sorry.
Gotta
I'm
tweet.
starting to
Right
preach
here.
through the
There he
non-choir
goes.
here. All right. Anyway, get on Google Plus now. Get some good content. Engage. Get some comments, and you'll be good to go.
All right.
So that's the deal on Google. Now, on top of that, Facebook had this kind of thing before, and now it's crossed over to Google. If you're on Google, okay, you are Google Plus, and you comment on certain things, they have carte blanche on using your image.
Yes.
Did you read about that one?
I did read about that one.
What did you hear about it?
I heard that now people are to fight the man,
Right.
for lack of a better term, they're now actually changing their image to be someone else, like for say, the vice president
Right.
of Google,
Right.
or something like that. And so basically, that every comment is going to be, or every one of these where they're advertising, is going to be his image on everything.
Right. That's fun. So, if you have your Google Plus on and you have your face, they can use it carte blanche. And that's part of the terms of service. I don't care. For me, it's branding.
Yes.
Hey, put my face on there.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, but there's a lot of people who are not. So
Yeah.
they're changing their pictures. They're changing it to like a hippopotamus,
Right.
or going with someone famous or something like that else, But they're not using themselves. I find that very interesting.
Yeah, it's the world of the internet is changing every day, and it's interesting how you can use that. So, a lot of people always ask me, should we use release forms? Yeah, whenever possible, use release forms. Cover yourself. You don't have as many lawyers as Google does.
Yeah.
So I would do it, but at the same time, if you have memberships or people that kind of come in, or if you have patients, it might be something to be able to slip into your long. If they got to sign your life away anyways, I would just kind of embed that in there. Make sure they initial that, and by the time they're initialing so many things, they just roll with it, and you're good to go. Okay. That's how you
Is
get around.
that legal advice from Nhat Pham?
No, that's not legal advice. I'm not an attorney, and I don't play one on Facebook or Google Plus. I'm just saying consider. I just said to do it. I said you may consider. Check your counsel, your corporate counsel.
Check local laws and how they interpret.
Yeah, no, check your corporate counsel. Go with your corporate counsel. That's what I'm saying. I know if y'all need any recommendations out there. Okay. So with that, let's move over from the big screen over to the smaller screen in the Galaxy Round. Tell us a little bit about going from the bigger screen to these little screens. What is changing in that world? Something funky here.
Yeah, no, have you heard about this, the Galaxy Round?
I did when you texted me.
Yes. So, for those of you that hadn't heard, the Galaxy has come out with a new brand of phone. Unfortunately, it's only for the Korea market right now. But it's called the Galaxy Round, and basically...
The Korean market, you said?
It's
like in Asia?
It's going to be released in Korea right
Okay.
now. That's the only place where they're going to be doing it.
Okay.
Basically what it is, it's the equivalent of like very close to the Note 3, which is a new one.
Oh, okay.
But it's curved. It's like if you lay it
It's
flat, it's like it's kind of tilted up. The thing is, this is not just the back. This is actually the glass face and everything like that is curved as well. So it almost like it cups into your hand.
Yeah, this whole screen is, which unlike, I remember the first iPhones,
Yeah.
they were curved on the bottom.
Yes.
But it was on the long ways, but not on the face.
Yeah, so this is the first time they're kind of coming with it where it's curved on the face. It's a great shot of it right there, kind of giving you an idea of it. That's from like a top-down view.
Yeah.
But basically what it is, it's taking it and it's kind of it's tilting the sides up. From a perspective, they're really not quite sure what all they're going to be able to do with this thing yet. I mean, it's a brand new technology, brand new thought process. I know that they do have a couple apps specific to this, where like if it's sitting on your desk and it's sitting upright, if you like rock it, if you just tap it and rock it, it'll pop up and show you the clock, and like if you have any messages or anything like that, wait. So you can have like sit on your desk and with its phone off, and you just like tap it, it will actually just kind of rock the phone, and it'll pop on with the time and any messages you have, if you have an email or voicemail or anything like that, which is kind of nice.
I can see it could get annoying though if you actually bump into it or.
Well, again, I don't know if
we
don't have to know.
Yeah.
The other thing is that if you're playing music or something like that and you have it sitting there on your desk, you can actually sit here, and if you hit like this side, it'll actually go to the next track, or you can hit that and go to the back track.
Yeah.
So there's little things that they're looking at from that perspective, which is interesting. Also, it's got the same type of back as like the Note 3, where it's got some texture feel to it, with that kind of that fake leather with the stitching, which holds well in your hand. And then with the curve, it kind of makes it really easy for you to kind of reach over and hit stuff. So supposedly it's going to be a lot better to handle and holding you. And then even if you let's say you want to put it in your pocket, it's kind of got a little bit more curvature, for your pocket as well. So there's no test about, hey, how does this compare for like the drop test and things like that, because it is kind of protecting the glass a little bit more. But they've been talking about these, flexible displays for a while. Some of the ones we've seen in the past is where the glass actually comes over the outside of it. Well, this is one where it's kind of curved on the inside. So it's interesting to see how this goes, and if they release this to a U.S. market. Because I'll be honest, that might be something that might be kind of interesting to see, and have.
It will be interesting. It's going to be interesting how the American society kind of adopts to it, because it's a little funky. It takes a while to get used to funky, and everything from how we slide into our holsters and,
it's
accessories.
New. It's definitely new.
Docking places. The problem is it won't even fit, because a lot of these docks now make them kind of wide, so whether it's specific for iPhone or not, you can kind of lay it in there and still use the dock, even though if it's not device specific, and you can always have the input output and just plug it in somehow. That's one. That will mess up some. Adoption for us is a lot of how third-party accessories integrate with devices. And it'll be interesting if how quickly or not quickly Americans adapt to that. Although with things like Sonos, have you ever heard of Sonos? Pretty cool. It's all Wi-Fi based speakers.
Oh, I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. I've been playing around with them. A little expensive, but you can actually control all your speakers from Wi-Fi and being plugged in. It's pretty nice sound, but that may work. But I don't know.
I think what this is, though, this is definitely the kind of step in where technology is going with the phones. We've been talking about the whole flexible space for a long time. I think this is the kind of the first release of, hey, instead of the old standard flat phone that we're used to seeing, maybe with some curved edges, it's now going to start kind of getting a little bit different shapes and sizes and things like that. A little different shapes, and seeing how that goes.
Well, kind of tying right into that, all these devices, we've been talking about wearable technology. The one interesting thing about wearable technology is that there's so many cool things you can do with it. I was looking at this one that's going to release in January, or delivery is going to be in January timeframe. It's this Craos, and you can answer and make voice calls. The whole Dick Tracy. You've seen the Galaxy watches, the Galaxy Watch.
Yeah, it's the Galaxy Gear. It's the Samsung Galaxy Gear.
Yeah, and it's really cool. But I haven't seen one that has that perfect magical elixir yet. Of all the things I want, it's practically a phone by the time you're done with it. It is a phone, because you can answer calls, but I think you need to pair it with your phone.
Yeah, they all typically have some type of pairing.
You can send and receive text messages. I don't know if I'm going to send any out of it. I don't know how the heck you would do that, but I would like to receive them, because a lot of times I miss them. Like, there are times after the show I forget to turn my ringer back on. And, I'm looking at my watch all the time, so that would be something cool. I like the white one a little bit better. I'm not sure how kiddish it looks.
Yeah.
Even with the white one, it looks a little bit better.
Like remember Swatch?
I love Swatch watches.
Little Swatch watches.
This also can fit activity tracker, so you can plug into like your. I'm not sure if it's Polar or what they use for your heart rate monitors.
That's
and
huge.
like
That's
that.
huge with the smartwatches and
Yeah.
things like that. Is trying to track all that stuff. Your fitness, a
Right.
fitness program.
So you don't have to have 5 million different watches.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. But not having the camera, and with the Samsung having the camera, I think I'm just gonna wait for my iWatch.
Wait for the iWatch.
iWatch.
Supposedly it's coming.
Yeah. This one's $150, by the way. So you can receive real-time notification, a lot of other cool stuff. But keep an eye for others, and also you can have the two-way voice communication, gesture controls, which is nice. But it's not my everything yet. It's close.
Yeah, I think the whole wearable technology is still in its infancy. You give it a couple revisions here, and they're going to start kind of come out with a product line that's going to be able to start meeting the needs of the consumer.
Yeah. So one other big thing once you start going with this is it's tying it all into social networks, and one of the big ones, of course, is Twitter. How to get Twitter alerts? Let me go through that because I didn't realize how much we've been yakking. Yeah, seriously. The way Twitter alert works is that you can actually go to one of the where is it? The big ones out there, meaning Red Cross, whatever the case may be, /alerts, and use their hashtag, and that way you can get alerts on what's going on, particularly when you get into like tropical storm last week, and we got off pretty much unscathed, but if it was something bigger, what's going on there? If you're in California, I guess earthquakes or whatever it is, tornadoes in the Midwest. But check that out. Google some Twitter alerts. There's some ways you can tie it in, or go to Twitter search. Actually, probably makes a little more sense for you. Okay, I'm rock and roll through this because I really didn't realize how much time we've been eating up. I say I'm not used to having you get the bands. I've been having to carry everything.
I'm sorry,
myself,
I can give you a little bit more time if I need to.
The other thing is, unfortunately, it's coming. Instagram ads. That's the only way they're going to be making money. You'll probably start seeing stuff like this one is a new egg one. It's kind of it's not quite there yet, but you'll see samples like this of ads actually being on Instagram. So what's going to be interesting is it's going to have to be really product centric for the 30 and below. I mean, I use it, but just because I have to. I mean, I would say 80-90% of your demographic is below 30, and 80% of that's probably below 20.
Probably.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of adoption. I mean, there's a lot of adoption. It may be a little bit older when big retailers are using that as part of one of their big social networks to follow. Obviously Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Pinterest has fallen off a little bit. It's still high traffic, but it's not something to key in on unless it's a very women-centric product.
Some of those dishes that people are baking aren't working out so well.
No, actually, some of the recipes are great. I said, "Where'd you get? Oh, this is delicious. Honey, where'd you get this?" Like,
Didn't you make something like that for me once? You were over and you made something from Pinterest. Was that my wife who made it?
That's probably your wife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you stuff, dude. Sorry. All right. So be on the lookout for ads. Anytime you're gonna get 130, 150 million plus people on it, they're gonna have to monetize it. Especially now, Facebook bought it, and of course they get rid of public now. All right. Let me jump into your free segment of the day, brought to you by the Successful Social Media Dashboard. When you get all your social media in one place, someone asked me this week, "Hey, a dashboard that you can get all this stuff?" I was like, "Matter of fact, I do. Let me send it to you."
Matter of fact, I do.
Yeah. This is a really, really cool freak segment today. If you're a small business and I'm not saying this is what you should do. This is just a resource. It's called Shake Law. Unfortunately for you, it's only available for iOS, but it's a pretty cool tool. It allows you to create and send legal binding agreements in seconds. So you can create a freelancers, basically an NDA, something confidential, buy, sell, rent things, loan money, whatever it is, and just create your own, and you can do it all from a device and get people to sign it, send it to the email, just bam, just like that.
That's pretty cool.
And almost sort of like a, what's it called? Legal
Okay.
But very quickly, you can just pull it together, change some docs around, and
Nice.
create it in seconds. And how much is it?
Free.
So I don't know free for how long, but do it while you can get it for free.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to get a lot of user base, and eventually I'm sure they're going to have it on your, whatever your stuff is. Android. I'm just messing with Sean. I don't know why they still put everything on iOS first. Very few things go on.
Consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, with the beautiful thing about iOS is that it's the same device, it's the same OS across the board. You don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about a button here. It's gonna,
Yeah.
You have to tweak. I've forgotten one of the developers that I know that do this. He does like that aspect of it.
Yes.
Although it's harder to get approved. You just shove it through the Android marketplace. And
Yeah.
approve. So that's your free segment. If you're a entrepreneur or just a mompreneur or just just getting your business off, whatever the case may be, consider this. But hey, remember, check your legal counsel first before.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All right.
Just saying.
A lot of cool stuff. We're going to be coming next month. We're going to be launching a lot of Christmas stuff. Yes, it's coming around the corner.
Ah.
Yeah, your top 5 devices under 25, under 50, under 100. We'll have all that stuff coming soon. And a lot of neat devices coming out for the holiday season.
Awesome.
What's about to roll out in the next month or two on all platforms, and which you should be watching out for. Business.
Cool.
All right. So next time.
I'm Digital Knight, Sean Francis.
And I'm the social media samurai, Nhat Pham. Until we connect on LinkedIn, friend each other on Facebook, circle on Google Plus, Insta on the Instagram. I don't know which one that is. Yeah, I think I need to phase out the Pinterest. On Twitter, follow Sean at TagVA. Me, I'm Nhat Pham, at Nhat Pham. Mention me, I promise I'll follow you back. Until next week, be mobile, be successful, and stay social. See ya!